Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I am your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. And just like any other bartender, I have to, what? Sometimes you want to throw drunks out, right? But you have people that, when you go to your local pub, you'll have people that will not argue honestly, right? It's a simple fact. Why? So some may be intox, but others just go there because they're looking to win a fight or they've got their own personal agenda. So I, I generally avoid politics, but then when they make everything is politics, right? That's what we are led to believe in today's world. Everything is politics. So let's look at what happened today in a thread on Facebook. I'm not naming the individual in question. Notice the screenshots are not naming the individual that posted this because for the same reason I buried the lead on a recent cease and desist, I don't believe the person deserves the attention that they'd like to get. But I do believe that there's a learning lesson here for everybody. So I figured, let's bring it up. So this is a response to Bad Mike, Michael Battalato, talking about a certain person who deleted their social media on Twitter and closed down their YouTube channel. And same individual accused myself and Bad Mike of being anti-vaxxers because we had the audacity to say, hey, we're vaxxed and boosted, but we're not medical professionals. Talk to a medical professional that knows your medical history, knows you, your risk factors, knows what could go on with you, and follow their advice. Don't listen to talking heads on TV. Don't listen to the talking heads on YouTube, right? Talk to a medical professional. Whenever has go to a medical professional been bad advice? Apparently, in the world of the, So, response to Bad Mike. Eric did spend a lot of time questioning the science for vaccines and masking. Really. I spent a lot of time on it. No, I didn't. I've commented that I am vaxxed and that, again, I am boosted. And I also mentioned that my sister, her first shot, she had heart palpitations. So a cardiologist who said right away, you're not getting a second shot. Why do I tell you find a medical professional and be guided by their guidance, not a talking head on TV, not a talking head on your fucking computer screen? Because what I'm giving is actually not medical advice, but it's real life advice. Okay? In what I believe was a harmful way, despite his own acceptance of the vaccine due to his own personal vulnerabilities of the worst of the virus. Also, I was hospitalized at the beginning of COVID, hospitalized as potentially COVID positive. It was like the boy in a plastic bubble in an improvised ICU room with the negative air pressure. Most horrible, 3 days, 4 days of my fucking life. So yes, I know the virus is real. Never said it wasn't. Okay? Still believe you should talk to a medical professional before doing any medical procedure. Gee, who the fuck thinks that stuff out? It wasn't a matter of you not demanding all our listeners get the COVID shot. I am not defending the actions of the individual being discussed, just correcting some nuance that was left out. Now, do I have my suspicions that the individual here might be closely connected to the individual that's in question? Same first name. Individual in question has had at least 4 other accounts with the same first name. Not saying for sure, but Spidey sense says, Magic 8 Ball says, possibility likely. Please check again. All right, so following that, later on in the conversation, about maybe 30 minutes later, because now I start popping in, Eric Tenkar. I'm not, nor have I ever commented, typos are allowed, on your position on vaccination. That part has seemed appropriately nuanced. Now, let me repeat. Eric did spend a lot of time questioning the science for vaccines in what I believe was a harmful way. All right. I was properly no in your own fucking conversation. You can't remember your fucking talking points. Obviously, you're either lying at one point or you're lying at the next point. You're not actually arguing in good faith, right? This isn't an argument in good faith. This isn't this good faith discussion. This is I want to score political points, and I'm going to do that even if I have to outright fucking lie. So, it's repeating the right wing propaganda about masks that I've been commenting on. Now, me and Mike didn't discuss masks all that much. Occasionally, we would talk about conventions and conventions requiring mask wearing, how at GaryCon they required mask wearing, but then they were not enforcing it, right? Go figure that one out. Well, you couldn't because the venue didn't have a mask mandate, right? Only the convention did. Now, I've also mentioned, whenever I've spoken about masks, I have 2 cardiologists. Both were instrumental in saving my life in 2020. Again, I didn't have COVID, but I had congestive heart failure. So, one is very strong belief in masks, lessen the chance of you contracting the virus. The other cardiologist were in the office. He's like, no door. Actually, in the exam room, he's like, door's closed. He goes, do you mind? I go, what? He goes, can I? I'm like, oh, you want to take it off? Yeah. Hey, you can take yours off. All right, we take our masks off. And he goes, and he gives me the research that he's read on masks. And in the meantime, I've spoken with both of these doctors as to where their position comes from. And they both have strong positions. And they both have well-researched positions. And the research contradicts each other. But they're peer-reviewed research, both sides. So, personally, I don't like masks. I went to a doctor's appointment today. Did I wear a mask? Yes, of course I wore a fucking mask. Don't have to like it, right? I'm allowed not to like masks. I'm allowed to think that it's stupid to go into a restaurant, which would have to be, right? You wear a mask going in, you sit down to eat your food, you take your mask off, but the moment you get up from your chair to go to the bathroom, right? You go to the restroom, you got to put your fucking mask back on because somehow the virus respects the eating man. If you're eating and drinking, you're good. To me, I have issues with that, but I do my own thinking, right? Is doing your own thinking apparently right wing? I don't know. I don't know. But apparently in the argument here, it was. So argument goes on. I thought it was making very clear. This is a response to Mike that Dave was not my hero. This seemed like an appropriate time to point out the recurring political nature of Eric's comments. It looks like I was justified since you are continuing to perpetuate right-wing propaganda. All right. Listen. I am about as apolitical as you can get, unless you are far left or far fucking right. If you are on the political extremes, I'm apparently the boogeyman of your nightmares. Right? And why is that? Because you can't unperson me. Okay? You can't go, oh, we're going to take his job. I'm retired. You can't threaten my employment. You can't threaten my position in the communities that I'm in. Why? Because people know who I am. They know the bullshit when it's being spewed. And that's why the extremes are afraid of me, because they can't control me. I have an influence, and I don't use it for the far left. I don't use it for the fucking far right. Why am I saying fucking far right? Because those fucking people annoy the shit out of me as much as the people on the far fucking left. But there's apparently, on social media, less annoying people on the far right, but the ones that are annoying are fucking annoying. All right. So, another response to Mike. Repeating this intentionally misleading nonsense, this is about masks, by the way, is dangerous and shows a political bias that Eric regularly denies unless someone has a position that he agrees with. Really? Well, I would say everyone has biases. Okay. I have never seen how much politics comes into play in a regular conversation where 5 years ago this wasn't political. All of a sudden, well, you know what? I like to have my eggs scrambled. Scrambled.
That's
You
so
ab-
right wing.
you abuse the eggs. You beat an egg. Well, yeah, that's how I like my eggs scrambled or in an omelet. Oh my! You have if you're not a soft boiled egg person, then you know what? You're one of those. What? Everything is political. So I'm tired of this fucking false narrative political bullshit, and that's what it is. It's political bullshit. Well, you know what? If somebody disagrees with me, and I consider myself on the left, then they're right wing. Or if somebody disagrees with me and I consider myself on the right, well, then they must be left. And we get these terms, woke and Yahtzee, thrown around back and forth because somebody disagrees with you. The world is to the average person. Okay, guess what? The world is shades of gray, right? The world is shades of gray. This black and white bullshit of political idealism is people that don't live in a real world. They live in their mother's basement, whether literally or figuratively. That's where they are. They're in their walled garden. They are they are hidden from real world issues. If you deal with real world issues on a daily basis, you're not going to be far left and you're not going to be far right. You're going to be in that gray area in the middle because you'll have lived a life. Those of you that are on extremes, my humble opinion, my honest opinion, you all haven't lived. You've all been sheltered. All right? So that's why I am making my political statement. And where am I on the political spectrum? Well, depending on the issue, I'm probably a little bit on the left or a little bit on the right, or a little bit more to the left or a little bit more to the right. And if you shake me up and I become a solid color, what am I? I'm fucking gray. I'm down the middle, gray as an average, not on each issue, but on the average. And that's the way most people are. Life is nuanced. And you fucking assholes on the extremes don't understand nuance. You don't. Get out of your mother's basement. All right? Get out of your walled garden. Live life. Experience people. Honestly. So, I know. Not my normal type of talk. It certainly wasn't gaming talk. Well, maybe it is, right? I guess now, hey, orcs can be good, right? So even gaming admits that the world is gray, right? D&D 5e says the world is gray. Why can't we understand that in the real world? I have no fucking clue. Folks, as always, hey, it's the shit that gets me in trouble, right? With one side. Um, we are in the midst of an endemic right now. The P word is over. Because it is never going to be over. It's going to be like the flu. You're going to be getting an endemic shot once a year or whatever. Again, I'll say something I haven't said in a while. I usually say use your common sense, but again, I'm going to say before you make a medical decision, talk to a medical professional that knows you, that gives a shit about you. Ignore the fucking talking heads. Ignore the loud voices. On any side and either side, talk to a professional. Get their advice. And to somebody you trust, follow their advice. And if you don't trust them, why are you going to that particular medical professional? Well, that's a thought now, isn't it? Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I'll be back again tomorrow with the random party generator. Woohoo! And Saturday, Gamers Health. That's going to be an interesting one, too. Some updates on that one. All right, that was exhausting. Folks, be good. God bless. Oh, is that being political by saying God bless? Whatever. God bless. Even if you don't want the blessing, I'm offering it to you. You don't have to take it.